Yo, what's up Avery Pro fam, it's actually Daniels here, and today we're going to be discussing artificial intelligence and the future it holds in gaming. But before we do, can I please remind you that there is that subscribe button, so if you like our content guys and want to show your support, then that is one way of doing it. Secondly guys, if you want to be notified every time we release a new video, click that bell notification. And lastly guys, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate it. Right guys, let's get straight into the video, shall we? Artificial intelligence. It's around us all the time these days in some sort of form. You know, social media apps use it. Most recently, ChatGPT, which is artificial intelligence. Artificial robots are now being developed. So artificial intelligence is starting to ramp up, and the speed of its growth is quite shocking, to be honest with you. I get so enthusiastic about its benefits, but also it's really scary to think like in 10 years' time, the way technology is won't be recognizable to what we know to this day. But anyway guys, artificial intelligence, it is already used in video games. It's used for character development, it's used for the world, but it's used in a way that's controlled by humans. It isn't like got its own intelligence to a it's already been created by humans, so it's human intelligence that's being used, and they're just using artificial intelligent tools, but not sentient, if that makes sense. So when we go into sentient, we go into its own consciousness. Now, us human beings don't even know what consciousness is. So how could we create something that could have its own consciousness when we don't understand our own? That's the part that baffles me, guys. And artificial intelligence hasn't been completely understood yet, I would say, and I would say we're only like a little sliver of the cake so far of what is actually possible with that sort of stuff. So gaming, where could we see ourselves in 5 years time? It is very possible that we, the players, could be communicating with the actual NPCs and having our own independent conversation. Not a conversation that's been decided by the developers, no. A unique conversation between the player and the NPC characters. Now guys, this is already possible. Nvidia showed off a little bit of footage about 9 months ago, I think it was, and yeah, there you go. I'm just going to play it right now guys, and you can have a look for yourself.
We're thrilled to showcase an immersive and dynamic interaction between a player Kai and a non-playable character named Jin. This captivating ramen shop scene was created by NVIDIA using the latest RTX rendering technologies. NVIDIA collaborated with Convey, an NVIDIA Inception partner, to showcase how developers will soon be able to use NVIDIA Riva, Nemo, and Audio to Face for AI-powered speech, conversation, and animation. These models were integrated into the Convey Services platform and fed into Unreal Engine 5 and MetaHuman to bring Jin to life. Please take a look.
Hey Jen, how are you?
Unfortunately, not so good.
How come?
I am worried about the crime around here. It's gotten bad lately. My ramen shop got caught in the crossfire.
Can I help?
If you want to do something about this, I have heard rumors that the powerful crime lord Kuman Aoki is causing all sorts of chaos in the city. He may be the root of this violence.
I'll talk to him. Where can I find him?
I have heard he hangs out in the underground fight clubs on the city's east side. Try there.
Okay, I'll go.
Be careful, Kai.
Right, so as you can see guys right there, you could see the player communicating with the NPC, and if this is already possible now, then I would suspect within the next 5 years it will hit most games. And this is the thing, it's not like it will be with one game and not the other. I mean, artificial intelligence will be spread across all games, you know what I'm saying, and that sort of technology will probably be used in all games as well. I mean, my mind can't comprehend the actual ability for me to talk through my mic and to communicate with a non-playable character in the game. I just can't comprehend it, because the amount of interaction that will provide for the player is going to be substantial. I'd also say the negative impact in this is it might make people less sociable. There is that possibility. I mean, people are already addicted to games, so if you create something that could potentially replace actual human interaction, yeah, it's pretty scary, to be honest, guys. What could happen? But the benefits of it are that it would make the game more immersive. Also, guys, I've been seeing recently, and I watched a video a few months ago, and it was of techs creating gaming environments, creating solutions to cures for diseases, all that sort of stuff, guys. And it was really impressive to think that, you know, these developers could just click it, you know, type in I don't know, a hashtag or a word or whatever, and then it would create the environment for them. You could just, like in the video, I think it used Northern Forest, and all you had to do was type in Northern Forest, and then there was a forest there. I mean, it was insane, guys. I'll play the video right here for you guys. It's about 3 minutes long, and you'll be able to see for yourself what it can do. It's mind-boggling, guys.
I am a translator, transforming text into creative discovery. Movement into animation, and direction into action. I am a healer, exploring the building blocks that make us unique. Modeling new threats before they happen. And searching for the cures to keep them at bay. I am a visionary, generating new medical miracles. And giving us a new perspective on our sun to keep us safe here on Earth. I am a navigator, discovering a unique moment in a sea of content.
We're announcing the next generation.
And the perfect setting for any story. I am a creator, building 3D experiences from snapshots and adding new levels of reality to our virtual selves. I am a helper, bringing brainstorms to life.
From different angles.
Sharing the wisdom of a million programmers. And turning ideas into virtual worlds.
Build Northern Forest.
I even helped write the script. Breathed life into the words and composed the melody. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
Okay, guys, so as you can see right there, you know, it's pretty impressive stuff. Both of those videos are from NVIDIA, so I've only really seen it from one sort of company, but I do know that loads of companies are dealing with AI. You know, Meta, Xbox, PlayStation. They're all in the artificial intelligence business to a certain degree. How far ahead they are or where they are in development, I don't know. But you will see these companies using artificial intelligence more. where can I see us being in the likes of 20 years time? I could honestly see us being in a situation that we're not using our computer screens, we'll be using VR headsets, because that is my opinion. I mean, they're already around now. I do see them replacing computer screens eventually. They already are now, so it's not unreasonable to think that they'll be doing that in maybe even 10 years, but let's say 20 for argument's sake. So in 20 years, I see us using VR headsets. I see the characters being sentient, so I see them having their own consciousness, definitely, with how fast artificial intelligence is progressing. I mean, I would argue they're more intelligent than we are. So, yeah, guys, to see where it is now, I can kind of see what's going to be coming in the next 10 to 20 years with how fast it's growing. So it's definitely possible that sentient beings could be around in games. So non-playable characters will be like human beings. They'll be like living things. And that'd be quite crazy, guys, because you think when you go into that realm, you know, you think, well, they know nothing else. So, you know, it kind of brings a bit of emotion into you as a person, because you're thinking these people know what's going on. You know, they can see their surroundings, and when and they can maybe not feel, but they are intelligent enough to know what's going on. And when you have that, you know, it's basically a living thing. And how can you work? How can you, you know, play a game where you're shooting them? I couldn't do that, because it'd be like you're actually killing somebody at that point. That's where I see the negatives of artificial intelligence, because, you know, it does come to a point where you could actually gain real life connections with these things, you know, with these non-playable characters. You know, you could be like, right, I'm going away, and then you come back, and then you go for a walk with them or something like that, and it'd feel very unique, the experience, because they've got their own mind, you've got your own mind. You know what I mean? And you would gain a connection. I would find it would become very difficult to just shoot them or something like that. Most games are shooters these days, you know, like Call of Duty, GTA, you know, they've got guns to a certain degree, Fortnite. So to actually think about ending their lives, that would be pretty intense, guys. Pretty intense to think that that would be available to us, because I'd be, in my view, that would cause a lot of problems. That would dehumanize the humankind, because it would make killing living things normal. Like, I mean, I know we already do it with animals and stuff like that, but to think about, you know, something that's in human form, obviously that isn't human, but has the intelligence of artificial intelligence, to think that they would be their own being, and they'd be in the form of a human being, and we would kill them, I think that would normalise a lot of bad behaviour. So that's the other negative I see towards it. I think that artificial intelligence should never be sentient. I don't think it should have its own consciousness, because with that, you run the risk of causing some major issues between humans and artificial intelligence. What rights do they have? What rights do we have? And as I say, in gaming, does that regulate games? Games shouldn't be regulated, in my view. Games are entertainment, you know, and that's why I think if you are to make sentient beings, they should be regulated, and you can't regulate games because it regulates the experience. So that's why I don't think it should be implemented, but I think it will be. And I think having its own consciousness in 20 years isn't unrealistic. I mean, artificial intelligence is speeding up really quickly. As you could see in those videos, guys, you could see a player, you know, an actual human being communicating with an NPC. I mean, that's just nuts. So, you know, I'm just mind boggled by it all. I mean, you look at the other video where they were typing words in, and then all of a sudden, boom, you know. I mean, developers would be able to create worlds in record times. I mean, look at how long games take to develop these days. I mean, the amount of time it would shorten down is massive. And it wouldn't necessarily lower the creativity. I think it would just make it more cost efficient, and it would also, you know, speed up the development of the game. Because, you know, developing the actual world isn't necessarily a difficult job when you've got artificial intelligence involved. Developing a world without artificial intelligence, well, that just puts a decade on your workload. Do you know what I'm saying? So artificial intelligence has got a lot of benefits with gaming. As I say, you know, you could see in that video they were just typing a word in, and boom, it created it for you. But as I say, there is a line. There is a line of where this is going, and I can see it breaking that line, and I can see there being real problems. As I say, I couldn't, like, now, I shoot an NPC, you know, you don't think about it. You gain a connection with an NPC that's got its own intelligence. Well, that's a completely different thing, isn't it? How can you shoot that when you've gained that connection? And if you do, does that normalize shooting things that have got consciousness? Does that normalize violence in the real world? I don't know. I don't believe that video games do make people violent these days, but, you know, and make people go crazy and, you know, make people think it's okay to do crime. But do I think if they implemented something like that and normalized it, yeah, I see in 20 years' time it could have an impact on people's mental health. I really do. So, you know, there is that argument for it. So that is my opinion of where artificial intelligence is, guys. I do see consciousness being a thing in 20 years' time, maybe less than that. And I think that when you have to regulate something as big as a sentient artificial intelligent being, you know, it's not right for games. I mean, you can have something that's nearly sentient in games, but isn't completely. That doesn't mean that makes it as, you know, makes the case that it hasn't got a consciousness then, doesn't it? It's not sentient. Nearly sentient, but it's not. And that'd be okay, because you don't need to regulate that. But when it's sentient, when it's got its own consciousness, you can't put that in a game. Because if you do, you have to regulate the game on a mass scale. And that could really impact the experience, you know, because it'd be like, you can't shoot this person because they got a consciousness, you know what I'm saying? It could really impact the quality of the entertainment. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, guys? I mean, that's just my view. Artificial intelligence is such a big topic, but I was really intrigued on covering it in this video, you know, because I thought we've done gaming videos. So I was thinking, why not do something that's going to affect gaming in the future? And it is already starting to be implemented to this day. As I say, you saw the videos for yourself. So yeah, guys, there's a lot to cover in this like topic, and we can't cover it all in this video. But I just want you to kind of look at that and just think, holy hell, I didn't actually think of it that way. I mean, that's just one way of looking at it. I don't want you looking at it just from one perspective, you know, of mine. But if you can see the way artificial intelligence is going, and you know, and if you think about it long and hard, you actually see that it has its benefits, but it also has its negatives, like everything in life. But having a sentient being in a game would be a bad idea. And I say that from an enthusiastic person of artificial intelligence. I support artificial intelligence because I do believe it holds a lot of the keys to unlocking cures for diseases like cancer and dementia, and you know, and creating better products, you know. So there is lots of benefits to it, but I think creating a sentient being in a video game would be a mistake. And the way it's going, and especially from that video, I mean, that's now, you know what I'm saying? We've got to be careful, guys. We've got to be so careful with this stuff. Artificial intelligence does need to be regulated, but you can't put something in a game that is regulated, in my view, because it lowers the experience. I mean, you know, because you know, like, if you, let's say, used Grand Theft Auto, by then, what, Grand Theft Auto 10 will be out, you know, potentially 10 maybe. Actually, Grand Theft Auto 8. I mean, it takes every 15 years these days, doesn't it, guys? But point is, you know, if you stuck a sentient artificial being into that game, alright, just think about it. The aim of the game is to do crime, okay, to shoot people, to do not crazy things, you know, nuts. People are nuts in the game, right? So think about it logically. If the regulation is you can't shoot sentient beings, and all the NPCs have their own consciousness in the game, that is in Grand Theft Auto. Do you see my point? That changes what Grand Theft Auto is, and it doesn't make it Grand Theft Auto anymore, because the aim of the game is to cause crime, and part of that is shooting NPCs. So you can see where I'm coming from with this, guys. You know what I mean? The regulation could be they've got their own consciousness, so you can't allow players to kill that thing because it's a thinking, living being. That could honestly be something that happens. I mean, the world is crazy at the moment, guys. I don't know. There's just so much. There's just so much that goes into it. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. We will be covering this topic again in the future, but I just kind of wanted to kind of delve into it a little bit. I saw those videos and I was just thinking, holy shit. We got to cover this on a video. We got to show people who haven't seen this where artificial intelligence is and where it's going in the gaming world. And I think those two videos really gave me goosebumps, because I just think, wow, they're that advanced already. You know, just think about it in 10, 15, 20 years. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's about it on this one. Thank you for watching, and I hope you stay safe, and I hope you have a lovely day or evening or wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, guys, bye.